Okay, that's a little finger exercise for you. That's also happens to be the best known or the top guitar lick by Guitar Magazine or somebody I read a couple years ago. Is now has displaced or the Stones with Satisfaction. So, but it's a great finger exercise for you. It'll take you some time to master that. And the good news is you can master it. The bad news is that's not really the way he plays it, or at least that's not where he plays it. I'm using the open strings there and put it into a D song for you, so that you can master it at this point in your development. So let's go through the chords of the song, and then I'll quickly go through that riff, that very catchy riff that uses a pattern that just never dies. Basically, you play the same pattern for all of three chords, which are a D chord, and followed by a C ninth, and followed by a G, and you use an appropriate bass for each of those chords. We'll get to that in a minute. But the chords of the song are essentially just like we've been doing in class on they're on Sweet Home Alabama, and they're D, and a C ninth, and a G. And in this song, I would play the note on string 1. And when you get to the ninth, just add the G, string 1, fret 3, your pinky. Keep your ring finger in place, and then just keep the string 1, string 2, both at fret 3 in place to go up to the G chord. So got eyes of the if they, you're up to a C ninth there. I down to a G. The feeling adds a pain. Her face reminds me of a warm, sweet night where highs so to the C. And then to an A. G, never mind. And that's basically the whole song right there. You just add that little riff in at that point and a few other places. So let's talk about the riff. So you have a song there to practice the chords, and a great song by Guns N' Roses. And as for the riff, played here in D, not played down, not played down there, which we'll get you to at some point. But right now, let's just look at this. Starts off with a D chord with a solid D, string 4 open in the bass, and then he repeats the same thing. Someone told me that he originally was working on a finger exercise for this. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly seems plausible. Because it is a really good finger exercise for you. Just work through it really slowly, get sure of it, and then pick up speed as you gain confidence and gain surety with what you're doing. It's more a pick exercise in this position than it is a finger exercise. Played farther down on the fretboard. It's both. So, but right here, you're going to hit string 4 open. You have a D chord made. Down strum, alternate your picks. Alternate your pick stroke. Down, up, down, up, down, up. So you're going to be at string 4 open, and then string 2 fret 3. That's a D. So you've just played an octave of D. And then right up to string 3 fret 2, right where you have your finger already. So you've got and then lift that your index finger up from string 3 fret 2, and that's the first 4 notes that you'll play. And then you're going to come down after get those first 3 down, and then the first 4 notes down, and then come down to start here where you're hitting string 1 fret 3, and then back to a pedal point, as it's called. You're going to repeat that note on string 3 fret 2, same place that you have for your D chord. You don't have to move a thing. And you have lift up your pinky, and that is the riff. You're going to repeat that riff with the different bass note. But for now, slowly, it is string 4 open, string 2 fret 3, string 3 fret 2, string 3 open, string 1 fret 3, string 3 fret 2, string 1 fret 2, string 3 fret 2. And it sounds like that. Now, that same pattern you're going to play the whole time. Now you're going to go up to what is actually going to be a C ninth with an E bass, and you're going to play string 4 fret 2, that E bass, and then come down and repeat that same pattern. And then you're going to use the bass string 3 open. Now you've got your finger up for string 3 open, but you're going to come back to play that same pattern. So you're going to have string 3 open, and then string 2 fret 3. Now you come back for the same pattern. Index finger at string 3 fret 2. So it comes out like. And now you're right back to this D formation. String 1 fret 3 with your pinky. String 3 fret 2. Lift your pinky up. And then string 3 fret 2. That would lift your pinky up, play string 1 fret 2, and then come back and play string 3 fret 2. So that would be. So here's the D part. You play that twice. String 4 open, string 2 fret 3. Right now you're just in a D chord. The D chord, the first chord you learned. First chord we had, first night. So you're string 4 open, down strum, up strum. Remember, I'm alternating the strums, and that's important when you're practicing. So string 4 open, string 2 fret 3, string 3 fret 2, string 3 open, string 1 fret 3, string 3 fret 2, string 1 fret 2, string 3 fret 2. You play that twice. And then you come up to this formation with you just take your index finger, move it up 1 string to string 4 fret 2. And then you have to get that index finger back to play that very same pattern. And now you play the G, the open string 3, and then go right back to the. And so there you have it. A great finger exercise for you, a great song, and you know you can try to throw that in, you know, with a oh sweet child of mine, oh, you know, like that when you play it, and you get good, and you'll be terrific. And when that happens, we'll move it down to the key that they're actually doing it in, and you get a real finger exercise. Then right now it's